you have a recipe that you love and you want to multiply it so you can share it at your office work party for a holiday gathering. Do you want to prove that you make the best chicken parmesan or the best shrimp dip or the best spaghetti and meatballs? It's not the simple math that you might think that it is. This video is about how I took a 10-person recipe and multiplied it to feed 100 people without breaking the bank. So, without further ado, this first part of the video is my original recipe. It's super easy. I call it a 1-to-1-to-1 ratio. And what that means is there's one serving of each thing. We start with a bell pepper and an onion, and we're gonna dice them up. I'm using my new slap chop that I got for my birthday. I am ridiculously excited about this tool. Next, you throw in a can of fire roasted tomatoes, 1 can of tomato sauce, 1 can of kidney beans, 1 can of pinto beans, 1 pound of ground beef, 1 pound of ground sausage. We got a 1/4 cup of olive oil. In a hot pan, we're gonna add the veg and the meat. And then we're gonna use this cool tool that I have to use to chop it up. It's literally one of my favorite kitchen utensils. I break the meat apart as it cooks, and while that's cooking, I'm gonna start throwing in some seasonings. We start with, I think it's a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. You can always add more salt later, but obviously you can't take salt away, so start slow. Next, we're gonna go with 2 teaspoons of onion powder. 2 teaspoons of garlic powder is next. I like to use powder to deepen the flavor. Fresh is great, but this freeze-dried garlic, I found I absolutely love it. I'm using 4 teaspoons here. I'm doing 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. I think it's 2 whole teaspoons of paprika. It's not spicy, so you can really add as much as you want. Got 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning. The most important is a tablespoon of cumin. I only did 1/2 teaspoon of chili powder because we don't like it spicy in this house. Again, stirring it up, chopping it up, break that meat up. It's probably getting pretty browned by now. Stir it to combine. Once the meat is all browned, give it another good chop and stir. And we're gonna add in our wet ingredients. So we're starting with fire roasted tomatoes and our can of tomato sauce. Next, we're gonna throw in the beans. I drained the liquid out just to make sure it didn't overflow my pot. So after I get the beans in and I realize there's plenty of space left, I'm gonna go ahead and put the liquid in. All of it, because it thickens up the sauce as it cooks. In October, I took a recipe that I love and I multiplied it for 100 people to serve at the album release party for Kirsten Melrose, the Kindness and Calamity album, which was a huge honor to get to do that. So here's how I did that part of the recipe. When you're multiplying a recipe that includes meat, I most of the time do not multiply the meat by whatever I'm multiplying the serving by because it gets really expensive. So my original recipe called for 2 pounds of meat. This recipe is going to have 10 pounds total. Even though I multiplied the whole recipe by 10, I only multiplied the meat by 5. And the reason for that is to save money, but also because you can make a really great party chili with less meat and more beans. Now I'm going to go crazy with the vegetables. I did 6 bell peppers in this recipe. I also did 3 large onions to bulk it up with vegetables. 5 tablespoons of onion powder. I think there's going to be 3 tablespoons of garlic. Mix it in. Get it mixed together. Get that meat really flavorful. Next, we're adding in the paprika. We're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tablespoons of paprika, followed by 1 tablespoon of chili powder. Actually, I think I did 2 there. Mix that in there, and we're gonna create a hole in the middle to throw our bell peppers in. I also put onions in this. I just forgot to film myself. We've got 6 pounds of tomato sauce, 6 pounds of pinto beans, 6 pounds of crushed tomatoes, and 6 pounds of kidney beans, 4 tablespoons of cumin. Dump all your wet ingredients in, mix as you go. This is 22 quarts of chili that I'm making. That worked out to be 40 pounds, which is still insane to me. Get all of your ingredients in, you get it mixed together, and then you're gonna let it simmer for about 5 hours. We served this with cinnamon rolls and cornbread. Coming up is some footage from the concert at the Gazelle. Give it a look. Leave me a comment with any other recipes you'd like to see multiplied. If you want to know where I got that slap chop or the meat chopper, there will be links in the description. If you have any catering needs in the Spokane area, leave me a comment or hit me up on Facebook or Instagram. Eat well, be well.